She got into the car and slammed the door harder than usual. Didn't cry, didn't complain, just stared out the window like something inside her had shut down. She's 15. I asked how school was. She shrugged. I asked if something happened. She said no. Then, after a long silence, she asked a question I wasn't ready for. Grandpa, does it ever feel like nothing you do actually matters? I'm 80. I've lived long enough to bury friends, watch empires fall, and survive mistakes I wouldn't wish on anyone. And that question shook me, because I've asked it my entire life. The difference is, she's just starting out, and I'm standing at the end, finally seeing the answer clearly. And it's not the answer most people expect. We live in a world obsessed with impact. Everyone wants to be remembered, to leave a mark, to prove their life wasn't wasted. People chase titles, followers, money, attention. They measure their worth by how many people know their name. I did that too. But here's the truth. No one tells you early enough. The things that matter most almost never feel important when they're happening. And I learned that from someone nobody paid attention to. Her name was Margaret. She lived 3 houses down for more than 40 years. Quiet, polite, invisible. To most people, she never married, never had children. She taught 3rd grade at the same school her entire career. When she retired, there was a small gathering in a school gym. A plaque, some flowers, polite applause. 2 years later, she passed away in her sleep. I expected a small funeral. I was wrong. The church was packed. People stood in the aisles, outside the doors. Some couldn't even get in. One by one they stood to speak. A doctor said she was the first person who made him feel smart. A woman said Margaret taught her to read when everyone else gave up. A man brought his daughter and said he became a teacher because of her. Story after story. Lives changed, directions altered, all because of a woman who thought she was just doing her job. Margaret never tried to change the world. She just showed up. And that's when I realized something unsettling. We don't misunderstand success. We misunderstand significance. I learned that lesson again years earlier. On a night my life could have gone in a very different direction. I was 39. My business was failing. Money was tight. Sleep was rare. One night, I sat in my car outside a bar, staring at the door. Then someone knocked on my window. It was a man named Tom. We barely knew each other. He said he was grabbing coffee and asked if I wanted to join. That was it. No advice. No lecture. Just coffee. We talked for 2 hours about normal things. And somehow, in that ordinary conversation, something inside me settled. I went home instead of going inside that bar. Tom probably forgot about it the next day. I never did. That's how mattering works. It doesn't announce itself, and you usually don't get credit for it. My wife used to write letters, real ones, with stamps. She wrote to our kids, old friends, neighbors, anyone who crossed her mind. I used to laugh and tell her people had phones. Now, she'd smile and keep writing. After she passed, I found boxes of letters people had sent back, and nearly every one said the same thing. They kept her letters. They reread them during hard times. They never forgot how they made them feel. She wasn't trying to matter, but she mattered more than she ever knew. The pressure to be extraordinary is breaking people. We're told ordinary isn't enough, that if your life isn't impressive, it's forgettable. That lie makes good people feel invisible. But almost everything holding this world together is done by people no one applauds. Parents showing up tired, friends checking in, strangers choosing patience, workers doing honest work, small acts, quiet choices. The kind no one posts about. So how do you actually know if you matter? Here's the answer. Look at the people directly in front of you. Are you present? Are you patient? Are you kind when it's inconvenient? When my grandson was 7, he was terrified of water. That summer, I stood with him in the shallow end every day. 15 minutes, no pressure. By the end of the summer, he was swimming. He doesn't remember it. I do, because I know that moment mattered. Here's what I finally understood. Status fades. Achievements disappear. People forget your accomplishments faster than you think, but they don't forget how you made them feel. They don't forget that you showed up when it mattered to them. So yes, what you do matters, just not in the loud ways we're taught to chase. It matters in the quiet moments, the unglamorous ones, the ones no one claps for. Your life doesn't have to be extraordinary to be meaningful. It just has to be honest, present, human, and that kind of significance lasts longer than anything else ever will.